What's going on, guys? This is Coach Ed. I'm here with my beautiful wife.
I'm Lauren.
And I will take a break from the coaching thing and I will start to answer questions from my students that's always intrigued by my personal life, my coaching life, my life with my wife and I. And so I think this is an opportunity to share insightful information about our journey. First question, do you believe in emotional cheating?
Yes, absolutely. Emotional cheating is definitely a thing. I think the obvious examples are like texting, phone calls, but honestly, I think that it's any interaction that you're having with someone that's not your partner that you know your partner would not approve of.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna throw a flag on this play. Like, it's a flag for sure. Any intentions that you are sharing with anybody other than your partner is cheating, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally. Don't take yourself down that path with the intentions that that person might be a friend or some sort, and so you're sharing personal things. That's out. That's a friend trap. That's a flag on the play. Taking it back 15 yards. It's not good.
All right, the next question is, how should I deal with emotionally immature people who I have to interact with regularly?
Have to is a choice, first of all. I'm just going to say that. But if they're immature, be patient. Give them the opportunity to grow. Maybe have a personal conversation with them to really see where they are. But again, I'm very personal in regards to self-needs. And so if that person isn't feeling your self-needs or that person isn't where you are at this particular moment, it's totally fine with, keeping them at a distance, maybe conversing with them, when the time was convenient. But if that person is not where you are, then you might have to keep them at a distance. That's my personal point. What you think?
And I think by have to, they're a student. So I think they're thinking of like students in their class who they can't avoid. The same way, we might have coworkers we can't avoid. I'm very big on just limiting my energy with that person. So if I have to see you and you're immature or I simply don't like you, then I'm going to just keep it bare minimum, hi and bye, and that's it. That's all they get from me. And you can do that friendly, so you're not rude, but it's just a hi, oh, okay, bye-bye now. Okay, take care.
Or hit them with the grow up. Okay. Grow up already.
Don't do that. Okay.
Question number 3. What has been each other's favorite moment together?
No, it was memory of
memories. Okay, go ahead. Dang.
I think my favorite memory of Coach Ed is my first memory of Coach Ed, which is when I met him. I worked at LaSalle, which he had already worked there, and my boss was introducing me to everyone. He was walking me around the floor, and Eddie was talking to one of my team members. And so when I came to the office, I remember thinking, oh, well, all right. Maybe work won't be so bland after all. And the rest is history.
Yeah, I think my favorite memory was going to her office after connecting and getting to know each other. And she said, she asked me what I did and things like that. And she was like, oh, I want to know what can I do to help you grow your brand and to help you become the person you want to be. And I was like, yo, fellas, coaching 101. If a woman tells you that, you should probably marry her immediately, because since that moment, I was intrigued and I was like, you know what? I never forgot that, because even still to this day, being married, she has been there to grow my brand and to make me the person I am today. So that's that.
All right. The next question is, what do you think is the biggest challenge people face in life? It's a big question.
That's so deep. And it's very interesting that, high school students will ask this question. And I think self-identity. I think it's so often young adults are struggling with who they want to be. Everybody wants to be a replica of each other. And I think it's totally fine that you take the time to really figure out who you are as a person. I say a good starting point would be with your faith. Also, another good starting point would be with mentors, teachers, educators, families, friends that can help you find yourself. And I think that is something that can help you find your purpose and to be unique and be different. But that's what I would say. You have anything on that?
It's funny. I was going to say something similar. I was thinking that I think the biggest challenge we all face, and something that ends up being a journey throughout your whole life, is just, who are you? Figuring that out and then being okay with who that is and then investing into what that is. So yeah, kind of the same.
Yeah.
Look, at us. All right, next question. What's a belief you've held for a long time that's changed over time?
I wouldn't say a belief, but I was always told that having money makes you rich. And I've learned over time that you don't necessarily have to have money to be rich. Rich doesn't have to be a dollar sign. It could be a wealth of knowledge that you obtain over life, something that you've learned throughout the journey of life. Maybe it's lessons through books, through readings, through classes, and through lectures and things like that. A person would never know if I had $5 or $10 or $100 in my pocket, but the way I articulate things, the way I speak about things, that's considered to be wealth in my perspective.
That's good. I can't think of a belief I've held that's changed over time. I will say, we're talking to teenagers, so I don't want to discourage anyone from pursuing their dreams, but I will say that as someone who loved school and aspired to go to college and to get the degree upon degree upon degree, and thinking that that was the surefire way for success, I think growing up, I realized that there are multiple paths to success, and they may not always include all of the degrees. Disclaimer though, kids, if your parents say go to college, please consider going to college. But also know that there are other ways to reach success.
I agree 100%. Right, the next question is, who is the most famous person in your contact list?
I don't think I know any famous people.
I think the local bank teller, college professors. I know a couple NFL players that have their contact information. No need to share their names. You. That was game right.
You're saying I'm the famous person?
Yes. She's an author. Come on now. She has a Stanford degree. Oh yeah, I can go on and on and on. She's starting her own business. Do I get brownie points?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
Because that's what I was saying with that.
I think that I have people that are like famous in my opinion. Like they're like maybe minorly famous. One of them that I'm immediately thinking of, her name is Felicia Manning. Hi, Felicia. And Felicia is a videographer, cinematographer, producer, and she owns this really amazing company, and she produces films. And so she's pretty well known, and she gets awards, and she goes to film festivals and stuff like that. That's probably my most famous.
Can we go off script real quick?
Okay.
Who did you go to school with that was famous? Whether it's college or high school.
Oh, I went to college with Richard Sherman.
See?
Hi, Richie.
Yeah, I went to school with Tyler, the Creator. Yeah. See? Well, I think I was older than him, but yeah. Okay, that works.
Next question is, what was the hardest period of dating or marriage?
I'm going to jump right into the marriage part. I think the hardest part for me was the premarital class, coming from someone that felt like I didn't need counseling or need to learn what it's like to be a husband. I was totally wrong. One of the things is being vulnerable, being able to express your needs and your wants, but also learning about your spouse, your wife, what she needs, what she wants, being patient, and all those things. Like, I think that was like an eye-opening experience. When I got done with that, I was ready. Like, I was like, yeah, come on now, come take this ring and let's go ahead and get this done, because I did the work, right? You want to do the work before you start walking around and giving rings to people and saying, hey, we're married. That ain't what it is. You got to go to premarital counseling. You got to learn for what it's like to be married. So that was one of mine.
I think mine was when I started to feel that Eddie was serious about me, which he was serious from the beginning. But when I realized this was a serious thing, I think having been divorced and having been single for so long, it took me a second to accept that. And so I think I tried to push him away, but thankfully he did not go. But I think that was the hardest period for me. Like, okay, I've gone from single to now I'm in this committed, invested relationship with a future. Like, it's a real thing. So, yeah.
I agree.
All right, next question. Do you believe we can love more than one person in our life?
I'll let you answer that. That's a very interesting one. I have a perspective, but I want to know yours.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to love tons of people, and you're going to love them in a variety of ways, in a variety of intensities, for different periods of time, during different phases of who you are. Yeah, absolutely. And be okay with that. I think that romance novels have us believe that there's the one true love. and there's that one person you will spend your life with, but you will love plenty of people, and they'll hold a special place in your heart, and they will help you grow and evolve, and it'll be great.
I knew you'd be good to answer this question. My perspective is I love you, that one single person that you truly love, that your life partner, and then I have love for you, for multiple people in your life that means something to you, that hold value to you. So I love you for that one true love person, and then I have love for you, and that's, as you grow older, you'll be able to differentiate between the two. So that's my perspective.
That was good.
Yeah. This one's from one of my students who I think is very, very interesting. A really, really cool guy, means well. The question reads, would you rather be confident or resilient?
Well, I don't really want to pick between the two. I don't know why I need to pick. If I had to pick, I think I would pick confidence, because to be resilient, you have to have some level of confidence, and vice versa. So perhaps if I'm confident and I face a challenge, I'll be confident enough to know I will get through that challenge.
Yeah. Can I use this? I'm resilient.
No.
I'm both.
No.
I like to be both because I'm not going to give up on the things that I want, and I'm very confident about the things that I want. So I'm resilient. Yeah, teacher 101, that works. I don't know how to spell it, but that's... Can I? Okay. We're moving on. All right, tell me a quote that you have grown up and has stuck with you to this day.
Oh, I have tons. My dad was really good at giving us kind of one-liners that you remember throughout your life. So I know one of them that he always told me that I think probably helps teenagers is, throughout your life, you will have many friends. They will come and go, but you will have one or two that stay forever. And that always helped me to not sweat, kind of the drama that comes, or friendships that kind of slowly die, or things like that. Another one he said that I think is helpful for the girls is, you don't want a man that doesn't want you. And that's just as true and easy as it sounds. So if there's a man and you're wondering, or he's making it seem he doesn't want you, then you're going to walk right on away.
Yeah, those are good ones. I think I had two. I think one of them was how you do anything is how you do everything. That one was a really good one because I always wanted people to know that I'm going to do everything 110%, or I'm going to do the best at everything that I do. So that was really cool. It's like permanently stuck in my head. I use it for football. The other one was, I grew up in the hood. Obviously when you grow up in the inner city, you hear from multiple people. And I heard from a guy at the bus stop, the quote reads, there's no Hall of Fame in the hood. And it motivated me because I'm like, never really think about that. Like, you can grow up in the hood, but if you grow out of it, that's pretty much the best success you could ever have. And so I was like, I still use that to this day. Like, hey, there's no Hall of Fame in the hood. It's okay to leave. Don't get stuck in it. Don't get consumed by it. And so those are my two.
Nice.
Probably going to agree on this one together. Who is your role model?
Who is my role model? Probably my parents.
Yeah. I was just going to say the same thing. My mom, my dad.
Yeah, I think my parents.
We're on the same. And for our viewers and students and community, it's okay to have your parents as your role model. It doesn't have to be some shiny celebrity or somebody you see on social media because they have a lot of followers and they're saying the right things at the right moment. It's okay to be your parents.
Yeah, I think as you get older, you realize just all that they did. And so I think like, I don't know that I would have said my parents 20 years ago, but I think now, you see the hard work they put in, not just as adults and human beings living their own adult lives, but as parents, as professionals, as neighbors, as citizens. You see the life that they live, and you're like, I turned out well and they raised me. So
yeah. I agree.
It says, what should I do when my ex breaks no contact and says he loves me? And this is coming from a teenager.
Yeah, no contact. What's that mean?
No contact. Answering this question is more than 90 seconds.
Yeah.
But no contact is, its most basic definition is that it means the person should not talk to you. You have set a boundary where they should not talk to you and you are not talking to them. The theory practice is that it will help you to grieve them and to move on. Or sometimes we use it to manipulate and, oh, I'm going to force them to miss me so that they come back and say they love me.
So I want to hear this. Okay.
I think the first thing to do is ask yourself why you're going no contact. Is it to move on? Because if it is to move on, we don't care if he comes back and says he loves us. Also, he shouldn't be coming back and saying he loves us, because the very rules of no contact are deleting their number, blocking them. So the only way he could come tell you he loves you is if he came and physically found you and told you that. And if your goal is to move on, you simply tell him, thank you so much for your words. Bye-bye now. And we don't give it another thought. If the goal was to somehow get him to confess these feelings, well, then you got what you wanted. And then you can establish what you want to do from there. Hopefully it includes some sort of boundaries, because if you're going no contact, a boundary was crossed. So if he comes back and you're wanting a future, then it's okay, let's have a serious conversation about what this looks like moving forward. But my two thoughts are, my one thought is, if you had to go no contact in the first place, we're moving on. So what you should do is move on.
I think my answer would be X is an X for a reason. So you got to X them out of the equation. You just delete contact information, social media information, literally wipe out all that stuff. So then that way the thought of that person never will cross your mind. If that person goes to your school, try to avoid them, but obviously we know we can't. But then maybe you move on to somebody else that's shiny, attractive, and whatever you like, and to take your mind off of that person. But that's a tough one.
Yeah. This last one is, would you rather feel everything too deeply or not feel anything at all?
That's a deep one. I think our intentionalities behind our feelings and our emotions should always be deep. I feel like if they're not deep, then there won't be any connection. I do believe small emotional connections can eventually accrue to be deep. But for me, I want everything to be intentional, everything to be meaningful, everything to be deep, so I know that I can trust my gut feelings towards that person or that situation. I don't know if I'm a little bit out of the ballpark with this, but I think my personal thing would be, I would always want a deeper connection or feeling or meaning with anybody or anything that I'm attracted to.
Yeah. For me, same thing. I would much rather feel too deeply. And I will encourage whoever wrote the question to feel whatever it is that you feel. If you feel things deeply, then go with that. If you feel things minimally, then go with that. Like, as long as you don't have some sort of mental, emotional disability or something that's clinically preventing you from feeling things. My therapist told me just yesterday, your feelings are never wrong. And so if you feel deeply, embrace that. If things roll off you and you don't feel a whole lot, embrace that too. There's no right or wrong way to be.
I agree with that. And trust your feelings. Your feelings are yours, and never assume what others' feelings are for you, but you can trust yours and stand on yours. So we just got done answering all these questions. I appreciate these questions with my wife and I. Please feel free in the future to ask us more, and we will get to them as soon as possible. Take care.